Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Sunday Live. How is everybody doing? Who is here live? And for those watching the replay, happy Sunday and happy 2025. Happy New Year. Very exciting times. 2025 has been a year of prophecy. Really, I believe it is a huge year. Well, actually, the Galactics have been alluding to the year 2025 for the past few years, at least since my awakening. But let me say hello to everybody who is here live. Hi, guys. And how's everybody feeling with the Schumann resonance? It's been crazy the past few days, so you guys are probably feeling that. I actually didn't get much sleep last night. This has happened the past 3 times the past week, actually, where I was up until like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, just surging with energy. We have so much energy hitting the planet right now. Yeah, 2025 is our year. And also, I want to welcome anybody who might be new. So my name is Lily Nova, and I am a contactee. So I started off doing space photography back in 2020, where I was then began being contacted by UFOs and beings, intergalactic beings. And I had this huge awakening. And I've been having ongoing contact since. They allowed me to film them and photograph them. So that was our relationship in the beginning. And now I have ongoing contact. I've learned a lot from them. I've been training with these beings. And it also helped me to activate clairvoyant, psychic abilities, telepathy, healing abilities, all of that in the last 4 or 5 years. So welcome to the channel if you are new here. And I usually go live on Sundays or every other Sunday. I'm rotating between Patreon and YouTube for Sundays. So welcome. How has everybody been feeling? So today I've been getting some updates over the last couple of weeks, and I actually sprained my ankle and I couldn't go live last Sunday. And it was really a time for me to kind of go within. And then I've gotten some pages of updates that I'm going to kind of go through with you guys and read. So I'm going to check on the chat just here real quick. Hi, Lisa. Kelly. Thank you. Hi, Mary. Thanks. Hi, Laura. Chat's going kind of fast. I saw somebody. Thank you, Ivana. How are you doing? Happy New Year, everybody. Yeah, I'm curious to see. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Feeling awesome. That's fantastic. Yeah, I'm running on 3 to 4 hours of sleep. I just started kind of feeling in the groove, though, so we're doing good. I was literally up until 6 o'clock in the morning, just getting surged with energy downloads. So I'll go ahead and get started on these updates here in just a second. I want to mention something real fast. I also have 3 slots open for my 6-week Making Contact Starseed Bootcamp mentorship that is starting January 14th. So there are 3 slots left. It's a 6-week, literally like Starseed Bootcamp, where I teach you all of the protocols and Ascension guidelines to help you activate your gifts, make contact with your guides, your star family, with your higher self, help you to be able to tune in your intuition better. And we work through the chakras, psychic abilities through this 6-week mentorship. And there's group calls each week, and you have unlimited access to me. So if you really want to level up and focus on your training, there are 3 slots left for that. So the link for that is in my website. I don't know too much about that. Thank you, Lisa. Happy New Year. Woke up around 3 a.m. Hard to fall back asleep. Yeah, it's been crazy. Okay, so let me go ahead and get started, collect my thoughts. Whew. So 2025, the year of prophecy. About a month ago, it was actually on the night of the election. And this isn't to make it political, but this is really, I'm not a biblical person. I'm not a religious person, but I do believe that this year has been talked about, and what is happening right now has been talked about literally for thousands of years. For thousands of years. And also check out the Rebels of Disclosure conference coming up in May. Thanks, Tyler. And like I said, I'm not really a religious person, but my guides and these galactics have actually shown me the correlations of what is occurring right now. And on the night of the election, again, not to make it political, it hadn't been called yet. It was like 1:00 in the morning, and I was just going to go to sleep to see, and then figured I'd wake up and see who was going to be the president. Although I had gotten messages a month before that and told what was going to happen. If you want to look up that video, there's tons of information about what's coming in the future and the collapse of the old system in my election predictions, but it's really messages from the Alliance and basically what's to come after the election. So all of that information in that video is still valid, and I would go check it out. They gave me pages, like 5 pages of information. But on that night, I was about to go to sleep, kind of phasing in and out of sleep, and then suddenly I see this very vivid vision of fireworks and then a white horse and a white horseman. And I was like, whoa. It felt very biblical, like a revolution, like a dawn of a new era. And then I got up and I checked my phone, and I saw that literally right then it had been called. And Trump is going to help, is part of this conduit of change. And as you guys probably know, he's going to be inaugurated on the 20th. So yeah, very biblical times that we're living in right now. And there's also ascension mechanics that are happening in the solar system. So we've got stuff happening on Earth, these roles being played out, shifts happening. Then we have the sun sending us energy, solar flares incoming, and the solar system also ascending. That's some of the messages that I've been getting also. Yeah, spiritual war. Okay, so let me go ahead and start reading. I'm going to read from my notes so that I remember everything that I wrote down. So I've gotten these over, these were from January 3rd. Oh, they were also telling me about Project Iris. So there's something the Alliance, the Galactic Alliance. So you could say it's positive ETs and positive humans working together. White hats, if you will. Got the nice mug, White Rabbit mug. Thanks, Tyler, for the mug. That are working together for the ascension of the planet, for disclosure. And yeah, so let me go ahead and get started on these. Project Iris. This is something that they told me about they've been telling me about this for like the past month. And they said that Project Iris, actually stage 3 of this Project Iris, which the iris is like the eye. So it seems to be very symbolic and metaphorical also, would begin stage 3 of this project to help usher in this new era and unveil the truth, would start on January 1st, 2025, the first day of the new year. That's what they've been referring to this. And also 2025 is a portal year. So yeah, we're ushering in this unveiling of the matrix. And okay, yeah. So on January 3rd, I see Trump. And I'm getting that he is setting things into stone. So there's a lot going on with, or speculation about what's going to happen on inauguration. And I tuned into this, and I was getting like everything's basically going according to plan. It's going to be fine. There's probably going to be some pushback and whatever, but ultimately it's going to be fine. But it's been a really busy week the last week. I felt a lot of moves being made. Lots of moves being made. And things are being set into stone. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. So, and I was sensing a lot going on in Florida. Inauguration. And then they said bull run finances. So bull run, if you guys have been listening to me for the past like month or couple months, I've been mentioning how I've gotten messages about XRP and certain cryptos going up. And then the finances, also gold backed, gold, silver, all of that. So they said a bull run is coming, assuming after Trump gets into office, but it's coming soon. Finances. So I was sensing like an uptick in the finances. And then so I asked about the Trump inauguration. They replied, going according to plan. Trust the plan, they said. Justice will be served. Putting things into motion. Timing is everything. And then I saw a structure device, this huge kind of structure device that opens portals and messes with time, used by the dark. And I saw it being destroyed, essentially. So then the dark can't be, messing with opening up all these portals, letting in these dark entities, shifting the timelines, all of that. So this was just one device. I'm sure there are many, but I was seeing this one device being destroyed. And then I was seeing the dark traveling through portals and time out of here. And actually, let me go back to what I got on January 1st. Actually, I heard heir to the throne. Just to backtrack just a second. Heir to the throne. Royal bloodline, Lyran, Magdalene, Christos. They said this can be interpreted literally as well as symbolically and metaphorically. I saw like the Christ consciousness returning to the planet, us taking back our sovereignty and gaining control over our planet, kicking out the oppressors. I was seeing the reptoids, royal reptilians, the ones with the wings, and handcuffs, essentially. That was on January 1st. Their reign is over. Many are already arrested, they said, but clones, you're seeing clones acting out the part, politicians, celebrities, all of that. And some messages that I got not too long ago in the past couple of months, maybe the last month. They said the alliance, the white hats, if you will, are starting to go and destroy some of these cloning facilities, or that's what's coming. These are going to be destroyed. So they can't just keep replacing all of these people. They're controlling them basically like puppets. I think they're working. Okay, so the Chakar have been removed from our solar system already. I think a lot of them have been taken out, but there is still corrupt things going on the planet, and they are still working through people, or else everything would be fine and dandy. That's my personal opinion, and that's what I'm experiencing. And I still experience sometimes psychic attacks and these beings astrally too. All of these military bases, I was just seeing black helicopters and some very corrupt things going on underground near my home in St. Louis recently. So how are those things still happening and occurring to this day right now if all of the negative entities are gone? Let me ask you that. Everything would be fine and dandy, peaches and cream, if they were. So really just think about that critically for a second. A lot of them are being kicked out. A lot of them are. But there's still, and there are people who they are working through also. Some of these people, humans who may not even realize that they give consent for these darker energies to work through them. And they feed off of greed and ego, and they kind of bait you in to doing that. So some people may not even realize that they're being controlled or manipulated by these dark entities. But yeah, there's still some presence, definitely, but it's on its way out. So let's just think critically about that. Right. The people telling you they are gone are the ones being controlled. So what would be, let's go into this just for a second. So what would their motive be in saying that they're all gone? It's to make you complacent so that you get arrogant and complacent and just not aware of what's going on. How can you fix something or change something if you are not aware that it's happening? Awareness is 90% of it. And like I shared in my live on the art of war recently, you can go back to that one. That was a really good live stream. If you go to my lives tab or just scroll down a little bit. The Art of War, which is a book that was written over 2,000 years ago, it says the number one rule or art of war is deception. That's what all war is based off of, deception. And they've known that for over 2,000 years. So it's super important to really critically think right now and practice discernment. And a trick, I was just talking to somebody about this earlier, and I just used this trick last night, actually. If you ever feel any energies, or if you are ever unsure of something, even if you want to tune into somebody or something, I would create sacred space around you. And you can do that by visualizing light and declaring that. Okay? Visualizing light around you, creating a bubble of light around you, declaring that, creating sacred space so that there's not, all this other energy that might be kind of like bombarding you. Even other people's energy or energy in places can kind of give you mixed results. So you really need to keep yourself, your energetic field clear. But anyways, so create sacred space and then tune into whatever that thing is and ask, are you of the light? Because they have to tell you. If you don't get an answer immediately, keep asking, are you of the light? Or show me your true form. You can do this about a person, about a figure, about any energies or beings you may encounter and you're not sure exactly their intentions. Tell them, you have to show me your intentions. Show me your true form. And then see what happens. It's really fun. Really fun. Yeah, they like to inflame negative emotions like anger, fear, sadness, panic, confusion, stuff like that. Yeah, they feed off of that. And essentially they're going to be here until we can rise above that and we raise the frequency enough of the collective so that we are not feeding them. We have to starve them out, essentially. Yes, many of them are getting kicked out, but there's I was just thinking about this analogy in the shower right before this. It's almost like a starving animal. A starving animal, and that's basically what's happening with the dark or whatever you want to call them. We're starting to raise our frequency. We're starting to become aware. A spotlight is being shined on them. And we're beginning, beginning to become masters of our mind, some of us, in waking up, essentially, being more mindful, being more in our heart space, being more of a love frequency. That's what we're working towards. That's what we're embodying more and more and more of. And these beings, that starves them. They can't feed off of the war, the confusion, the sadness. If we stand in our heart space and we stick together in unity, they can't feed off of that. But like an angry animal, once they get really starving, they're going to start lashing out and just acting crazy. And that's part of what we're seeing right now too. A lot of the stuff that's going on in the, the news or whatever, just things that they're trying to pull. It's really, come on, this is a joke. This is a joke. So they're getting desperate, essentially. So that's basically, you can think of that analogy, we're starving them out, and some of them are, just trying really hard. And what happens whenever you try to starve an animal? What happens whenever you're really hungry? You start probably having an attitude problem. You start getting hangry. So as we are purging the last of this right now, and through this portal year 2025, we're going to see, some of that happening, essentially. So, yeah, I have. Have you experienced any that told you they're not of the light? Well, I've asked to see their true form, and I did see, I saw darkness and not good vibes. Reptoid. Yeah, I have seen that. Can you see JFK files declassification in 2025? Yeah. So Another video that you might want to look into was my Messages from the Future video. It's a podcast with Journey to Truth podcast. I literally went through 5 pages of notes of what is coming that I got from the Alliance. And the JFK files declassification was one of the big major things in that video. So Messages from the Future video on my YouTube channel. And they said that that would create such a huge ripple effect. It will like shake the planet, and that will wake a lot of people up. That's going to wake a lot. It's going to shake a lot. And then that also brings into, okay, the CIA has been hiding that for how many years? They were supposed to release it already. It's been over 50 years. That's illegal. I don't know how that's like still a thing. But yeah. Yeah, clairvoyance, new gifts activating. That's big right now. For sure, with the light codes coming in. Okay, so I'm going to continue down my notes. Photon belt. So this goes into gifts activating and our DNA activating. So over the last like week or so, I've been seeing a lot and connecting a lot with the sun and a black hole. So there's a black hole, which is basically like it feels so familiar to me whenever I see a black hole, whenever I see the vision of it, or, you know, like the screensavers on YouTube. I've been watching like kind of those space exploration things. It just feels so familiar to me. It's a quantum library in there with all of time, all of the information, just like the end of Interstellar. Great movie. They depict, he goes, sorry, spoiler alert, close your ears if you haven't seen Interstellar, but at the end of the movie, he goes into a black hole and he's connecting with himself and communicating with his daughter through time, through different time periods. It's just this huge quantum library, all of time, all information in the black hole. And I've been really connecting with the black hole. Sagittarius A is the one in the center of our galaxy, I believe. And we're connected to it. And that's helping with the ascension. So some of the visions that I've been receiving and informations about this year and what's occurring right now are more of the mechanics of how the ascension is happening. So there's many different layers to it. You've got the sun, the photon belt. So our solar system, we're moving into a part of space where we haven't been before. And that's shifting things, raising the density up, shifting the vibration. So that's part of it. And then this is when they said stage 3, Project Iris. Okay. Which began on January 1st, 2025. So stage 3, I guess, is, well, what it says here, it coincides with where we are in the photon belt, as well as where we are collectively as we are ready for this next stage of the awakening. So that just started on January 1st, 2025. The sun and Sagittarius A, the black hole, and our DNA. So I was receiving a visual of kind of like a triangle, us, our DNA, the sun, and then this black hole, all connected, sending and receiving information to each other. And the sun is helping us ascend and helping us to activate our DNA, helping to clear and dismantle the illusion, the 3D matrix, as well as this information. And there's like wormholes in our DNA that's also connected to this quantum information. And we have the Akashic records is stored in our DNA too. I'm kind of bouncing around a little bit, but now I'm just in a flow. So I'm just saying it as it comes. That's in our DNA. And we're being able to access more of this quantum information. You may begin to start having memories from past lifetimes, remembering gifts, activating gifts through the Akash, through your DNA, through the activations from the sun. And with this triangle that I was seeing between the black hole, our sun, us, our DNA. It's not just the sun and the black hole giving us information. It's like a mutual thing. As we are ready, we impact our environment, and our environment responds, aka the sun, the black hole, all of it. It's like it's a symbiotic relationship. So that's why it is super pivotal right now to be going within, staying heart-centered, clearing your field, raising your frequency, releasing, transmuting all of the baggage, all of the bullshit. Excuse my language. Letting that go to be transmuted. The violet flame is super powerful right now. Well, it's always super powerful, but highly, highly recommend that using the violet flame. It is one of the most potent spiritual tools that you can use, energetic tools, very high frequency. The colors each have a frequency. Violet is a very, very high frequency, or the highest frequency color. And there's nothing that the violet flame cannot transmute or transform. So super powerful in using that. And it can also help alleviate symptoms as some of this baggage or even wounds and stuff coming to the surface to be purged out, because all that stuff can't come with us as we raise up, raise density, raise frequency. Violet flame. I have a few violet flame meditations, but like 3 different lives and then one specific 20-minute recorded activation, very powerful. Yeah, using the violet flame every day is a great idea too. But I will leave my violet flame meditation in the comments and in the video description, the one that I recorded. That also is great for activating DNA too, repairing, healing DNA. Violet flame is literally like good for everything, instant energy shift. But you could even just use the violet flame quickly each day while you're either like in the shower or, after you get off work, whatever. Just visualize the violet flame. You can cultivate it within you. Visualize it kind of burning in your field. You can do it for 1 minute and it helps a lot. Visualizing, really feeling that. Very, very powerful. Thank you, Scarlett. My fave is the Violet Flame Meditation by Lily. The Violet Flame is so transformative. If you were to use that every single day for a week, I promise you, you will shift into a new reality. I promise you. That's what I did. That's what my star family taught me to do with the Violet Flame. Saint Germain, he's a Violet Flame keeper as well. Yeah, interesting. Sun gazing if you can. I know they've been covering up the sun a lot. We've got a huge winter storm going on right now. I'm snowed in, which I think is also symbolic. This huge snowstorm and ice storm sweeping over the Midwest and I think like the East Coast and other parts. I feel it's also very symbolic for the storm is upon us. There's a lot of cleansing and a lot of things happening, even in our energetic field. Like I said, I barely got any sleep like 3 nights in the last week, just surges of energy. I'm starting to have memories from past lifetime. I'm starting to access things that I was not able to access before. Tons of things going on from many different angles. But yeah, it's a very pivotal time right now. And the Alliance and the Galactic Federation gave me, it was the Federation, I think specifically, in my 1.5-hour podcast with Tyler and Aaron from Journey to Truth. That's also on my channel, but it's on their channel as well. Journey to Truth podcast. Messages from the Federation. They gave me this specific date, January 10th. And they said, what did they say about it? They gave me this date back in October. And I didn't even know at the time, because I'm not a political person. I've never followed politics before. But they said that was going to be a very important date. And I was sensing something with Hillary potentially going on there. But yeah, that's in 5 days from this live. And I didn't even know that the new president gets sworn in or inaugurated in January at the time, whenever I got that message back in October. So January 10th. I wonder if that's going to be something that we'll see publicly, or if it's something more behind the scenes. We'll see. I did ask them about January 10th in these notes, so I'll get to that in just a second. Wow, I've got like 4 pages of notes here. I'll just go ahead and skip through it real quick. Okay, January 10th, turning point for the United States, they said. I sense negative beings controlling, being forced out on January 10th. A shift in power and power structure is what I was getting last night whenever I tuned in. Whenever I was up for 5.5 hours not being able to sleep. I asked again about January 10th. They replied, the power dynamic will change, another shift for the better on this date. And then I also saw Fauci. At the same time, I heard plead guilty. He has hurt millions of people. So some disclosure coming up with Fauci and the pandemic and all of the shenanigans going on with that. And then today I just saw briefly that they're trying to pull out the dark hats, if you will, trying to pull out another card on January 10th specifically. They're planning to sentence Trump. I guess maybe try to put him in prison. I don't think it's going to work. It's kind of a big show. So I wonder if they're pulling out that on that specific date, January 10th, to counteract something, or they're just, they're getting desperate, like that wild starving animal that's just lashing out. So I thought that was interesting. That's also on January 10th. So we'll see what happens. Okay, let me see what else. So the photon belt, stage 3 of Project Iris began. Accessing memories, the great unveiling for humanity. Pardons put into place will expose corruption. So this is going back to like Pfizer, COVID, Biden's son, the pardons that he's trying to put, the pre-pardons that he's trying to, before they're even like accused of anything. Well, I guess they're accused, but officially accused of anything, Dr. Fauci and all of that, like he's trying to pre-pardon them, which just makes them look super guilty. You know what I mean? That's him showing his true colors. So they said the pardons put into place will expose corruption. So they're really telling on themselves, basically. Illuminati bloodlines leaving the planet. I see the royal family. Again, I got this on January 3rd, these messages. I see the royal family, Queen Elizabeth, members of royal family exposed, Harry. I see gold, bloodlines they've been hoarding and withholding, being taken back. In conjunction, I see our DNA, our special DNA being hyperactivated, solar flares and energy, quantum information connected to the black hole, sending and receiving quantum information, quantum entanglement. And then they said, I asked about Disney because I've also been seeing a lot of visions of Disney. Tons. I was seeing it again last night, all last week. Like I feel some really big disclosures coming very, very soon with Disney and the trafficking. And I keep seeing like the underground tunnels under Disney where they are trafficking children, all of the disgusting things. So I feel whenever I tuned into that before, first got messages about that, I was sensing Mickey Mouse Club, like specifically the Mickey Mouse Club. And, they were like grooming future celebrities, children, Britney Spears, and I forget who else was in that, Christina Aguilera, and what's the guy from Backstreet Boys or NSYNC? Justin Timberlake, I think. They kept like emphasizing Mickey Mouse Club. Like something's going to be uncovered specifically with that. Maybe one of their own will blow the whistle on what was really actually happening in those clubs and the grooming and all of that. Okay, so I asked, what about Disney? There is a lot to uncover that has been going on underground and behind closed doors on your planet for a very long time. Disclosures will need to roll out in stages. It is just getting started. So if all of this were to come out all at once, I mean, people would freak out. It was hard enough having I had like a rapid awakening. I'm sure many of you know. smacks you in the face whenever you see all of the darkness that's been happening on this planet for so long. And everything that you thought was real or true is a lie, or a lot of it, what we've been fed. So yeah, they said it will need to roll out in stages, and it is just getting started. They were saying that about Disney, but also other things too. So we're starting to see that with like the trafficking ring. You've had like Epstein going down first, then like the Diddy's happening, and now I feel there's going to be a big disclosure with Disney, and then Hollywood. There's a lot going on there. That there's tons of little things coming out. People are getting really fed up with Hollywood. That's definitely getting exposed. Yeah, the corruption it's really hard to swallow. With whenever Sound of Freedom came out, literally I probably just like cried for like 2 weeks. And I was depressed for like 2 weeks because that movie it's a great movie, but it becomes so real. So real. So yeah, this is gonna have to roll out. Can we please just rip the Band-Aid off? I mean, I'm down. Yep, drip. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going. So as I'm saying these, some of these messages as I go into this page, sometimes they speak to me kind of like in code or like metaphor. And so I just wrote a note to myself whenever I was writing these last night to really reflect on these points. Some of it's metaphor, some of it's symbolic, some of it's literal. The storm, which I was kind of just talking about. This, like, literally, there's a huge storm happening right now. Ascension portal. So where we are now, like I was talking about a minute ago, we're literally entering mechanically, astrologically, quantumly through a portal right now, propelling us into the golden age, raising our density. Ascension portal. Solar flares, massive, incoming, very, very important. Schumann resonance, healing collective consciousness, and then the unconsciousness coming to light. I saw angels. I saw the violet flame. Definitely recommended. So they were recommending everybody do a violet flame or some sort of a cleansing, clearing, a healing, transmuting, and transforming meditation practice daily. Navy. Saw a fleet of ships. I can't remember what date this was. Just a few days ago. But I woke up and I heard fleet. There was a fleet, and this fleet, I was sensing the Ashtar Galactic Command, Positive Navy coming and interrupting mind control feeds and signals is what I was picking up on. This was just the other day, just a few days ago. Because, they're propelling those frequencies out. So I saw a fleet of ships, interrupting mind control feed, dismantling negative tech and devices, portal, time travel. Non-believers will become believers. So there's like this artificial veil that is kept over everybody's eyes, and through this negative tech and these signals, this negative AI, that's beginning to be dismantled. So I was seeing like a fleet of ships working on that the other day. And I saw them like right outside my house. There's this huge pole, really suspect pole right over there. And I've seen people working on it before. That's definitely transmitting something. And I saw a whole fleet of ships around it. And that whole day I was feeling a huge heart opening, like sensations on my chest and my heart. I was getting downloads like crazy, very powerful energetically. Non-believers will become believers. I see the Sacred Heart on fire, burning, purifying, activating Christ consciousness. And again, the white horsemen that I saw on the election night, whenever that really solidified the golden timeline, the golden age, and choosing the higher timeline and beginning to anchor that in. The white horse is like purifying. It's a symbol of like pure in Christ consciousness, returning to the planet. So mandala effects, widespread, temporals. There's been a lot going on with time. We've talked about this a lot. So we'll be picking up on more and more mass mandala effects as there are timeline shifts and as these other timelines are kind of like merging with ours. Some are like dissipating and kind of fizzling out. And then some are merging with ours and they're kind of leaving artifacts and little things changed here and there is the visual that they gave me. So mass mandala effects, photon belt, black hole, sun, gateway, our DNA, solar plexus, the Merkaba. So with that could also be a really great meditation or activation to do, or just focusing on that or becoming more aware of it. Your solar plexus connected with the sun, with your Merkaba light body. And thank you so much. I see that super chat, Mark Howard. Who's having sweats and very lucid dreams? I know, right? Barely got any sleep last night. It's been crazy. The Merkaba light body, which is our chariot for ascension. You know, the pyramid and then upside down pyramid, light body around us. That's connected to your solar plexus. And I received a vision. This might have been like a year or two ago now, but of everybody's Merkabas activating and lighting up on the planet, and that literally ascended the planet. Like that did it. So that's starting to come online. Our Merkabas, chariot of ascension. That's our ticket. So those are beginning to come online. That shifts our consciousness. That also is very protective. This light body, we can travel with it. And apparently some like these golden orbs, their Merkaba is spinning very, very quickly. That's how they travel. So you can do Merkaba. I have a Merkaba meditation, a really short one, I think a 15-minute one, super also transformative. And I'll leave that in the video description as well, right after this. Recommend Merkaba meditation. See the devices being dismantled, negative. Remember, yep, I remember seeing the other day, negative reptilians, royals arrested, escorted out. They can't stay here. The planet has chosen. It is ascending. And then I was seeing a spiral, like we're going through space. They're emphasizing the heart and Merkaba. The Merkaba is a key. So they were explaining it to me. I was like picking up on this last night. Your Merkaba is a key too. It's like a golden key. That is your key for ascension. That's your activator. So, and then the heart, of course, is the other key. Is the big key. When opened and activated within us, our hearts and our Merkaba light body, it influences and activates our surroundings and the ascension process. So if you go within, every single one of us goes within, focus on our heart each day, opening and being in our heart and our Merkaba, our light body each day, as we are embodying that, activating that more, opening that more. It's literally ascending everything around us, starting that process. Think of it like a domino effect, ripple, massive. Okay, so within, so without, as above, so below. What happens within here happens out there. It reflects out there. So super important to be focusing in, heart, Merkaba, violet flame. Homework assignments. Kundalini also, that has been crazy. I've been experiencing big like chakra clearing, activating of the inner channel. And as our chakras are clearing, opening in that inner channel, a lot of people, they get stuck in the lower chakras. You get a blockage down there in your root, which is your like survival, your emotions, your stability, your finances, which is the cabal wants to just keep you stuck in your root chakra, not feeling safe. That keeps you down in that root. And then you can't climb the ladder. I literally have a whole section on this that I'll get to. Climb the ladder up as your energy rises up to ascension, to enlightenment. activating your third eye, your heart, your portal of your heart. It's your gateway. Bringing heaven within, activating, embodying heaven is within you. And then you can see as your energy rises up. So that's clearing and activating right now as well. Our environment, the sun, the black hole, again, sending and receiving information, quantum, and activates, progresses as we are ready. Quantum wormholes in our DNA. And then I saw the snake, literally. See, it's funny, like the telepathy is starting to come online more. And often this happens during my lives or during like group sessions and in Patreon and stuff, or my meditations. Somebody thinks of something like in the audience or who's following along, they think of something, and then like 5 seconds later, I say it because we're all connected. We're all one. So literally that's the next thing I say. The snake, I see the snake, the chakras clearing, activating, opening, Jacob's ladder, which symbolizes your spine, your kundalini energy going up, Jacob's ladder going up to heaven. It leads, it bridges heaven and earth. And that happens within you. You are the bridge between heaven and earth. Ascension. Again, doing energy work, healing and clearing, very beneficial right now. 3D baggage cannot come where we are going. Clear yourself, your vessels, your temple. Also doing parasite cleanses, detoxes. Yeah, Project Iris again, stage 3, portal year 2025. Oh man, I still have more to go. Wow. How's everybody doing? Let me pause just for a second. I do that all the time with you on your lives. Yeah, new gifts activating, the telepathy. We're all connected. And thank you. I was going to mention that as well. I was seeing a snake tons. I didn't even know what year it was. So last year was Year of the Dragon. And we had a lot of the dragons working with us. They're amazing grid workers. Working on the ley lines, clearing the grid, like clearing the way, helping activate the way for our ascending planet. The dragons, thank you, dragons. And then this year is Year of the Snake. I was seeing snakes like crazy since January 1st, and the Kundalini energy, all of that, ascension, enlightenment. And then I found out that it is Year of the Wood Snake. Well, no wonder. That's very symbolic and very, very important. The snake is a symbol of ascension. That's very powerful. Thank you, Felicia, for mentioning that. And shedding the old. That's a great point also, Laura. Shedding the old skin. Firefly. I've been seeing fireflies recently too. Manifestation occurring more rapidly. We're becoming master manifestors. So be mindful of that too. Things are happening faster. So be mindful of your thoughts, Anakin. Like they say in Star Wars. Yes, and don't forget to like this video if you are here right now. That helps the channel a lot. Favorite things today, Violet Flame, Merkaba, Heart Center, Year of the Wood Snake this year. I know, right? Like, what? We have all of the things. How could I put this? What are the words for this? We just have all of the things like standing for us. Like we have so many positive things and signs of success for this year. Ancient civilizations portrayed the snake everywhere. Exactly. They did that for a reason. Huge DNA activations. And also, yeah, this is happening automatically, the DNA activations. I do have some on my channel. I wrote extensively about DNA activation and DNA activation training in my book, Contact. And then I also have DNA activation kits that comes with 9 channeled DNA activations from each of the different races of star beings on my website too, if anybody's interested in that. But it's already also happening, and you can just focus on that, visualize your DNA. Do DNA activations from, trusted creators. Super powerful right now. Okay. 3 owls last night. Interesting. I saw one too. Okay, let's see what else. I asked about the Trump inauguration since that's coming up. I got that it'll go fine. And then I was like, are you sure or whatever? And then they were like, we're time travelers. Like, it's going to be fine. They may try to pull some stuff, but ultimately it's going according to plan. That's what I was getting. That's what I was picking up on. And I was seeing Hillary then. And then they said people will show their true colors. People will show their true colors. So we'll see what happens. And that's on the 20th of January. I see Orion's belt and Orion constellation. An age-old war is ending. I see many beings jumping up in celebration, galactic, spiritual beings jumping up in celebration. So this war has been going on for many, 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 many years. I wonder if Earth is kind of like the last big one where like we got to eradicate what's going on here, and it really like tips the scales. Is kind of what I feel. And I've been told many times that what happens here on Earth and in our solar system affects everything, the rest of the galaxy, the rest of the universe. It's all connected. But yeah, these wars have been going on for a very, very long time, since the Lyran Wars, the Orion Wars. And they said an age-old war is ending. Defeated. Soul contracts ending, they said. Soul contracts ending, which is interesting because, some say, or you hear like the dark actually serves the light. We live in a dualistic universe. So you can't have like one without the other. And it's like these on a very, very on like the highest level, we've had soul contracts to play these different roles and experience these different things. So they said that soul contracts were ending that perpetuate this dualistic war, all that. Everything is ascending, not just Earth. Vibrational state of our galaxy too, as above, so below. The storm, a cleansing, the storm upon us, bleed through, and I saw darkness rearing its head, will be cleansed, purified, darkness coming to light. So over this month, we may see, like I was sensing like bleed through, and I've experienced some bleed through from some of these more negative timelines as they are like merging or dissolving. And it can affect our timeline too. It's really trippy. Like you can have, like I've had wounds in parallel timelines or these other timelines or lifetimes or whatever. And then suddenly I'll have a wound like here. I'm like, what the heck happened? So I was seeing like bleed through from the dark stuff, the darker timeline, kind of rearing its head into our timeline. So we may see some kind of artifacts of that popping up, especially over the next month. It's darkness coming to light. Stay diligent, they said. Anchor your light. More dimensional beings coming forward. The veil is thinning. I saw Sasquatch, the fairies, elementals, star family. So more of these beings starting to have more open contact with us and us being able to see them better. And they're coming forward more and interacting with us more as we are ready, coming up to be healed. Yeah, definitely getting bleed through, coming up to be healed for sure. Lots of bleed through opportunities for healing. Yeah, it's been wild to bleed through. Yeah, Astral Legends TV on YouTube if you want to learn about the Lyran Wars. They do have some pretty interesting content. I found them recently. Okay, sacred sites around the world activating. It's a power grid. They were showing me these sacred sites all around the world activating. It's a power grid. And then I saw Pleiadians, which is interesting. So they're like Pleiadians, and some people call them Pleiadians. And I've been seeing kind of this newer group of beings that they call themselves the Pleiadians, but they're like, well, I asked them, where are you from? And they said the Pleiades, what you call the Pleiades star cluster, and specifically from Electra, these specific beings from Electra. So the star Electra in the Pleiades star cluster. Pleiadians. And they said the root of evil comes from a matrix program that inverts everything. And they were talking about spells also, this spells like the dark magic. Somebody just mentioned the sites still need to go down too. These different sites. Yeah, they use like this dark magic, spells, all of that, as well as this dark program that literally just inverts everything. So the Pleiadians said that, and they said that is ending. They show me DNA, the Pleiadians specifically, telomeres, they said, are DNA literally changing, like physically. And I remember like caps being put on our telomeres to reduce our age so we don't live as longer. Also incorporating a worship gene in our DNA. So our DNA is like physically, literally changing right now with the sun, with the black hole, with our inner work, with our intention, with our vibration, literally changing. And then they said, now certain beings feed off the power we give them. If you're not feeding them anymore or worshiping them, this even goes towards idols too, even in this community, they starve and they cease to exist eventually. So don't give your power away to other people. Yes, we work together collectively and we do have mentors and teachers, but don't give all your power away. We learn from each other. Instead, we go within, listen to our divine guidance, cultivate that divine guidance within you, develop a relationship with your higher self, with your guidance, with your star family. Empower yourself, empower ourselves and each other, help each other grow. That's what they said. And then they said Kundalini, Jacob's ladder, the spine. I sense ships hidden. Okay, so they're emphasizing the Kundalini rising right now in this year in 2025. I sense ships hidden all over the world from Atlantean days, underwater, underground, under structures, in caverns, treasures, artifacts, hidden all over the world. And they said they're coming back online, like these hidden ships, since Atlantean days. I think as the frequency, as the collective consciousness reaches a certain point, these things begin to activate. And it turns on like this whole different like energetic field, dimensional space reality on Earth in this power grid. Many things hidden since Atlantean times. And it's like we hid these things for ourselves to discover again later. As they come back online, I also sense a potent frequency and sort of energetic grid coming online. It changes the energetic field and vibration. And then I saw a wormhole. Like it looked like a wormhole, like that. But we're like going through it. Everything is connected. Time. Okay, just a little bit more. I got 2 more pages. I could have broke this up into multiple videos. Dyson sphere. I saw a Dyson sphere, time travel system on a grand scale in space too. Okay, so it's like where we're going in space. The whole mechanism of this whole thing is like a time travel machine, as above, so below. It's kind of hard to comprehend. I get the visualization of it. I get the feeling of it. Space too, electrons, atoms. So Dyson sphere is kind of like this, where you've got like the sphere in the center. I've been seeing that a lot. And then you've got the, different bands going around it. And I just realized that it's in the movie Contact with Jodie Foster. One of my favorite movies. I need to watch it again. The first time I watched it, I cried. But they receive instructions. They're contacted by ETs. Sorry if you haven't seen it. And they give them instructions to build a ship to go meet them. And the ship is literally a huge Dyson sphere. Maybe I'll share my camera real quick. Dyson sphere. It's wild. I'll just share it really fast so you guys can get the visualization of it, because it's fun. I've been seeing it tons. This is what I've been seeing, and it's like a time travel device. A portal, time travels through the wormhole. And it's like, that's how, as above, so below, on the small scale, large scale, micro, macro. And this is like how our atoms, our electrons are made also, as well as our solar system out in space. It's really interesting. So it's like we're traveling through time and through this wormhole. Hard for me to put into words. But yeah, I wanted to give you that visual. Ship in movie Contact. This is the ship in the movie Contact. And whenever she goes on the ship, something weird happens with time. I think she might have only been gone for like 17 seconds. But she was gone for much longer, but it only showed up like a lapse. I think it might have been 17. I need to, which that's an interesting number. It's been coming up a lot. Watch that movie if you haven't. But I find that really interesting. So that's the way of the future. So this like Dyson sphere is shooting us up into this golden age, this higher density reality. And they said prophecy, circling it back down to prophecy. This is the time that has been prophesized about for a very long time. And this whole time travel kind of a portal mechanism shooting us into the golden age, higher density reality. Then I see JFK. I see the Dyson sphere. I saw a boat, water, poles shifting. I was hearing about the poles shifting, not in a scary way, but it's changing the magnetic pole of the planet. And that is also has to do with the Ascension. I see angels surrounding Earth, more light supporting higher dimensional reality. I see our DNA blueprint, frequency match. We are becoming a frequency match for our divine blueprint. Universal consciousness, Christos template. We are becoming a frequency match for Christ consciousness. Christ consciousness returning to Earth, humanity. And they said in this quadrant, like this quadrant of the galaxy of space. I see the spine, spinal cord, memory complex. This energy coming in may help you access soul memories, tap into it, utilize this. Remember soul gifts. Remember who you are. Life lessons, past lives, parallel lives. Past lifetimes too, as healers, you can activate all these amazing gifts and abilities right now. You've done this before. Mystics. The Lyrans, the original guardians, the humanoid blueprint, the Akashic records, quantum library, and your DNA. You can access this. And just to circle back again about my 6-week mentorship, Starseed Bootcamp mentorship, that's what we're going to be working on through the 6 weeks. So if anybody is interested in that, you can find more information and reserve your slot. There are 3 slots left at the time of this live. So we're going through activating those gifts, focusing on making contact with your star family, developing a communication with your higher self, increasing your clairvoyance, working with your DNA, developing that intuition and inner guidance at all times. And there was just a couple other things. Dragons, the grid workers, very present. Year of the snake. Keep seeing the serpent. See the planet. And then I heard he's got to go to jail for that. And then I heard California. Weather patterns, weather manipulation. So this is some moves by the dark. Fire, lots of corruption in California. The governor, I heard, and then the senator, money laundering, exploitation of children with these political figures, laws changing, huge impact during Trump's term for the good. And then I was picking up on, again, falsified documents having to do with Mar-a-Lago that is going to be exposed, that the dark falsified these documents to try and entrap Trump. So there's some falsified documents that I haven't heard anything about that yet, but they told me that's coming. And then that's about it. I tuned in again about Disney and the Mickey Mouse, and then I heard trap. I was seeing the underground tunnels under Disney. And then the Hilton Hotel connection. Tyler was sharing some clips about that earlier. There's a connection with the Hilton hotels and Disney and the underground tunnels. And then I heard trap for Disney. And I said, what trap? And then I saw a vision of Mickey Mouse in a mouse trap. They can be so funny and like symbolic. So, and then that's what I got for you guys. Yeah, mousetrap. So they're about to get stuck in a mousetrap. So, wow, we went through a lot of information pretty quickly. I still need to tune into the Ark of the Covenant deal. I've been picking up on that a lot, and they've been alluding to the Ark of the Covenant and even multiple Ark of the Covenants, and that being a key piece of technology. Essentially, whenever I first saw it or tuned into it, it's like technology. Stargate, it has to do with time travel too. But I haven't tuned into specifically the Ark of the Covenant or replica that he has at Mar-a-Lago yet. That's on my to-do list. I hurt my ankle last week suddenly, so I've kind of just gotten back into things. California family courts are extremely corrupt. Kids being trafficked. Yeah, very bad. So they were saying, and I was picking up on Newsom. So yeah, he's the governor of California. Yeah. They said he's going to jail for that. Gavin Newsom. Money laundering, exploitation of children. So, yeah. Trudeau will be exposed to. Yeah. Awesome, guys. Well, so that's basically, I talked a little bit about the drones go to my last video before this. And then Tyler and I talked about it on our last live stream too. But basically, it's kind of like a combination. They were testing the waters. What I was getting, they were kind of testing the waters. A lot of it was fake. But there's also a lot of real ships being seen too, and they were kind of trying to muddy the waters. It was a very convoluted thing. But also just testing the public's reaction to it. How is the public going to react to all of these unknown craft in the sky? You know what I'm saying? Hit the mark, 700. What's up? Thank you, Hopewell Farms. And also, I've partnered with Hopewell Farms, CBD. I'm super excited to try their salve. How do you pronounce that? Salve, CBD salve for my ankle. It would come in handy because that was so painful. But I love their CBD. They also do liquid CBD drops. I don't have it right here with me, but I do actually. So they also do energy work on it. I take this every single night, and I partnered with them, and they're running a sale right now. Lily, thanks. You get 15% off, and that's at the very bottom of the video description. So absolutely has helped me a ton. Great quality CBD by a lovely Starseed couple. So thank you so much. So check that out if you are looking for some CBD or you want to try some. Clinton's gone. Yep. Yeah, they told me a while back, I think it was in July or August. Maybe, I think it was August, actually. Right after I got back from my Mount Shasta trip, they said just randomly, telepathically was contacted and heard Hillary Clinton is going down. And I was like, what? And when? And they said within the next 3 to 6 months, but I was really feeling the 6-month mark. And so that would be like January this month. January, February, something's going to happen. So we'll see. I know, yeah, we've got some turning points coming up. This is going to be a really, really big month and a huge year for all of us. Yeah, mysterious time runners, UFOs, drones. I didn't have the CBD with me for the salve for my sprain, so I used red light therapy and I had to keep it elevated. Awesome. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm actually going to be live again next Sunday because I had to miss a Sunday because of my ankle. So I'm super stoked to see what else comes up. Remember, Violet Flame, Merkaba, clearing your inner channel. And what else did they say? Merkaba, Violet Flame. Oh, the heart space, of course. Really focus on that, cultivating that. The energy is coming in right now. Everything is so amplified. Whatever you set your intention to, you can achieve in half the time right now, probably way less than that. Very, very powerful energies coming in, solar energies, the Schumann resonance. And again, if you are interested in leveling up and doing a 6-week mentorship with me, live group calls, you also get unlimited access to me through direct messaging and through the weekly group calls. It's a small group program. You get weekly assignments. It's literally like a boot camp, help you to make contact with your star family. It can help you discover your star origins, help you activate gifts, help you really cultivate that connection and give you the tools for you to be successful in navigating that and having that guidance with you. Then that starts January 14th. Go to lilynovacontact.com. There's a link in the video description also. I'm super excited about that. You also get access to all of my workshops too, as a bonus with that program. So, and that doesn't expire. Okay, guys, it was so wonderful seeing everybody. I will see you guys next Sunday. I love you. And I'll see you later, Star Brothers and Sisters. Take care.